Joe Biden's first State of the Union address just got off air, and I also watched Kim Reynolds' video on behalf of the GOP as a response video she gave. First off, the GOP, Kim Reynolds wasn't engaging at all. She was talking long and slow. Look, we need somebody that's engaging. Somebody like Tim Scott. I believe he gave a great response video at one point in time. But you need somebody that's engaging and somebody that is more witty. I mean, look at the head of the GOP right now. Look at Trump, the charisma, the witty. So when the GOP gives a response, we need to shoot back flying flames. So but anyways, back to Joe Biden's first State of the Union address. Basically, you didn't even have to watch it because you knew what it was about. I made a few videos back speaking about how he was going to take fake victory laps and speak on basically what he spoke on was making the government bigger, more spending, which therefore causes inflation. He spoke on infrastructure. Yeah, we all love. Well, first he started the speech out by saying he's on Ukraine's side, this and that. But I wonder, is he on Ukraine's side because of the money they donated to the Clinton campaign and the DNC, or is this really a genuine that you're on the Ukraine side? But anyways, back to the Ukraine topic. I mean, back to the inflation topic. Joe Biden spoke on all these spending programs and infrastructure. Yeah, okay, I like infrastructure, but wasn't like 9% of the bill infrastructure. The whole bill, the rest of the bill was spending it on social programs in like Pakistan and just fool's gold, basically. Fool's gold assignments. So yeah, spoke on infrastructure and roads and bridges, talking about how we 13th. Well, that little bit of spending won't help much. And also the CEO of Intel was there. And Joe Biden said how the CEO of Intel came to him asking for money. That slipped out. I heard what you said. I heard what you said, Joe. The CEO of Intel came to Joe, asked for some money so they can raise the budget of Intel. Instead of Intel making the money themselves and putting it back, let's just go to the government and ask Joe Biden if he can send us some money to invest. Intel, if y'all were really doing that good, you wouldn't be asking for an increase in your budget on technology. Why didn't Microsoft come to you? Like, why didn't Google come to you, Joe? The CEO of Intel basically asking for a bailout. If you really want to move in technology, this and that, get in contact with Elon Musk. Some of the top, get in touch with the people who are rising today, not the CEO of Intel. But you can't get in contact with Elon because he's center right. He tweets what he wants, whether you like it or not. And y'all don't like that. That's another problem. Everybody in the crowd, majority old and wrinkled. And I also noticed, and see, we got to get rid of that. You see, we need younger people in there. Like I mentioned in my last video, I would rather DeSantis run because he's younger. But anyways, the people that were in the crowd, majority old, canes and wheelchairs, no mask at all. After all they put the American people through, no mask. Joe Biden came in shaking hands and kissing babies face to face with everybody that was in attendance. Shaking hands and kissing babies, no mask. It was only a few with masks on, but the ones this is Democrat. So the main party who said for lockdowns, claimed for masks, are now freely masks. And this happened a couple of days before the State of the Union address. It's kind of odd time wise. So yeah, Joe Biden basically spoke on making the government bigger. He spoke on colleges, and he spoke on HBCU funding too. But didn't you cut the HBCU funding, Joe? The last administration, I remember Trump said basically he gave the HBCU the checkbook and said write it. The funding was way higher under the previous administration. But you have cut it since you've been in there. So there was so many lies told within this speech. But you're not finna get that. It may be a good speech to some, but you're not finna get it off on me because I know what I'm talking about. So Joe Biden wants to talk about how he wants to allegedly cut taxes and the fair share argument. That's another thing. This whole fair share thing, it was BS on the campaign trail, and it's BS now that he's in office. Elon Musk, back to him. Didn't he pay like the most taxes? Like last year, it was reported Elon Musk paid the most taxes out of every billionaire, out of everybody. He was the number one taxpayer in the United States. So whatever they say about taxes, they're lying. Talking about tax cuts, this and that. How you want more made in America businesses. Well, why are we still buying oil from China? Why are we still buying oil from Russia? Why are we still dealing with China in a major way? Pull our economy out of China. But you won't do that. So see, you just lying. You got on stage lying. You memorized this speech, or they had teleprompters, because I know he didn't look down a lot. But this is about an hour long State of the Union address. But this video, I'm trying to keep it as short as I can, because the gist of the speech was that Joe Biden wants to make the government bigger, which creates more problems, a downhill effect. And then he spoke about transgender rights. What? Like, what rights don't transgenders have that they should? Should a male be in women's sports, Joe? Common sense? I don't think so. They can reach their full potential by competing against men and still being transgender. That is more of an accomplishment than cheating, going to another league just to fit in. So no, Joe, this was not a good speech. Like I said, you might have pulled it off on somebody else, but not on this channel. And Joe Biden, what I want to get back to about college was, yeah, I have college debt. I have student loans that I have to pay back. You know why? Because of the government's interference in the first place. When I apply for a loan, you can't get a loan out for nothing else other than college at 18. $40,000, $50,000 right to the college. I barely saw any of it. So Joe, what you want to do is just expand the government. What you will do is, then he spoke about just so much spending. How will the country get this money back? We have what? How will this country get this money back? After all these trillions and trillions of spending, how will we get this money back, Joe? You didn't speak on how the country will become richer. We're a poor country relatively compared to many others, but you just want to keep spending and think that it's going to come back. And then he spoke about curing cancer. Like, dude, that's the inevitable. Like, if that's something you was put in charge of under the Obama administration, cancer's still here. People are still passing away due to cancer, Joe. So will you really do it, or are you just trying to get a bill passed? I don't want to understand that. And at the beginning of the speech, I got to go back to the beginning part. I know it's when Joe Biden handed his speech to Nancy, she didn't rip it up like she did the last president. So unprofessional. Even if you didn't like Trump, you ain't got to rip the speech up on live television, you old hack. And even when I was a Bernie bro, I didn't like Nancy. So what you think that as a conservative for a few years now, what you think I think about her? She's a complete joke. Shouldn't even and then you 80 something. So see, this and that gotta stop. And that would be term limits, because look, you need to go home, enjoy your life. But you can't go back to San Francisco because these people pooping in your driveway, huh? Raw and uncut video, one take. So yeah, Joe Biden's first State of the Union address. She spoke on Fight for 15, which, I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, but anyways, Fight for 15. Dude, we need to lower the minimum wage. If more than anything, I used to live in California. Tacos used to cost $1. I used to walk to Jack in the Box, get a taco for $1. And I used to walk around the city in general. Antioch, California, I used to walk around 11 to 12 years old by myself. You can't even do that now, because y'all liberal policies, soft on crime, the criminals that came down from Oakland, from what I hear, you can't even do that no more. And I know the tacos ain't $1 no more in California, because I have a family member out there who says that Popeye's chicken costs like $15 a box. So what? Lord, dude, talking about fight for 15. Come on, Joe. And what he last spoke on was how strong the American people are. Because it's just like a recap video. Everything else is irrelevant. He's just going to keep being a sitting duck in office. He really going to be a sitting duck after the midterms. And, he spoke on how the Democrats, before I get to the end of this video, he spoke on how the Democrats allegedly now are saying fund the police. He spoke about Jason Rivera and more. The one I did the videos on. The video did pretty good. He spoke about them losing their life and how he went down there. But I firmly remember, Joe, on your campaign trail, when that police officer was shot in the head, I believe in Compton, you and Kamala did not go visit the the hospital. You did not go visit. On your campaign trail, you did not go visit. Y'all was just steady defund the police and social worker. That's what y'all were. But now you're saying fund the police because you see the midterms is going to be a red wave. So now you're trying to, and then, so you saying it, but its liberal counterparts are doing the complete opposite of what you're saying, Joe. They're defunding the police. So he kept on, I call on Congress to pass this, and I call on them to do this and that. Well, you didn't do a very good job, Joe. And I'm sure these bills will be steady sitting. Because, dude, what? Like, just, it makes zero sense. So at the end of his speech, Joe Biden talked about how the American people are strong and this and that. Yeah, the American people are strong. Years, decades, way before I was born, which was 1998, decades, they've been lied to by these money-hungry politicians like you and the people that are still in there. Like I say, everybody in the camera shot was old. And knows how it was shot too. They kept panning to the camera. Trump spoke. He speaks on this, how they won't show the crowd when he speaks, but when the Democrat speaks, it's a dog and pony show. Look at the Republican. Look at the clap. Look at the people rubbing their chin. But anyways, it's just total theater. But at the end, Joe Biden spoke about how strong the American people are. Like I say, lies and deception, decades, money-hungry politicians who have got in there, which is called the deep state. Money-hungry politicians like Nancy, money-driven, just lies and deception, time after time again. The country will overcome. You want to know why? Because Obama gave us Trump. Biden, who will you give us? The American people are strong, and we will overcome socialism. We will overcome the Biden administration. This is on the Jordan Network. Checking out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. I'm out.